Welcome to This Week Inside Sim Racing, March 20th edition. I'm Jessica Lopez.
And I'm Darren Ganji.
And This Week Inside Sim Racing is sponsored by iRacing.com. We have a special deal going on over there. You can get the NASCAR Chevy Silverado truck along with Michigan International Speedway and all of the base content for $20 by using the code PR-ISR trucks.
And you can get all that content to join us in our event that's coming up in a few weeks on March 31st, the March on Michigan 300 miler in the trucks like Jessica mentioned. We have some new prizes to announce for the race. On top of the R-Seat GTR V2, GT Omega wheel stand, $200 in gift cards to the NASCAR Superstore, and $200 in gift cards to iRacing. We have the Track Boss Champion that we announced last week, and Thrustmaster's now on board, and they're giving away a T500 RS.
And a pedal set.
That's right. And NVIDIA's on board right now. We're hoping they're going to give a 580 video card away, but they've committed to a prize.
So that's 10 prizes total for 10 lucky winners.
That's right. And speaking of lucky winners, there's over 200 people have signed up so far. And we still have a lot of spots left. There's over 200 spots left. Let's go to sscarace.com to sign up, and we've got practices scheduled pretty much every Saturday up until the race. So sign up now so you can join us on March 31st.
All right. Well, first up on the show, Codemasters, they have announced the extension of their license with Formula One. Since they've acquired that license, they've released 4 F1 titles, 2 for the consoles and PC, and 2 for handheld devices. Of course, we've covered them extensively here on the show. F1 2010 and 2011, and looks like we'll be covering them for many more years to come.
That's cool. Those guys are really cool. Looking forward to seeing them again, Paul and Steven. And E3's just right around the corner.
We'll be seeing you guys at E3.
That's right. Next up, Simbin just announced v-wtcc is back. You remember that?
Yeah.
Virtual World Touring Car Championship.
Yeah, I always had a hard time with that.
Yeah, 4 years ago we actually covered that event. And they're back again here in 2012. Simbin Eurosport and the World Touring Car Championship hosted a sim racing competition based on Race 07. And the way it worked was guys got to participate in Race 07, doing like a time trial from home, and then there was some like live events. Remember how that went down? Do you vaguely remember it?
No, I kind of do, kind of don't. It sounds a little familiar.
Yeah, Bruno Marquez was in it, David Greco, and basically they had these events going across Europe, and you had to show up at one of the live events to be part of the finals. 4 years later, they've announced it in cooperation with Eurosport and Race Room Entertainment. And like in 2008, players have a chance to compete either from their home or in the game park that will be on site at various WTCC races. The v-wtcc 2012 will be a points-based hot lap competition, but unlike the first edition that was based on the Race 07 title, this is going to be based on a free-to-play title. So that means anybody can do it for free. So that's going to be kind of cool.
So they're pretty much doing what they did back in 2008, but they're doing it again based on a different title. And are there any prizes involved?
They haven't announced them yet. Details, regulations, all that stuff haven't been announced, but they did announce the competition. And we'll let you guys know as soon as we hear more about it.
Yep, we sure will. Okay, Virtual LM has released a beta version of their Mid-Ohio Sports Car course for R-Factor 2. And this was originally created for R-Factor, but now with R-Factor 2 on the horizon,
they're porting it over.
Yep. Virtual LM has equipped this track with the new features that come along with R-Factor 2, and it's 3.8 kilometers and comes with 2 different layouts. If you're interested in checking it out, there's links to download the track at Virtual R, and we have links to Virtual R here in the description of the show.
I know I'm going to be going to check it out. Like I said, I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm gonna. Next up, we have the Ritza Formula Truck Series, and I saw something about this a little while back. But now there's a video of Nils Husingveld. Hope I got it right there, Nils. Sorry if I didn't. But there's a video of him driving it with his modified super force feedback wheel. And I gotta say, we're rolling some video over here. This truck sounds like a real decent truck. I can't wait to try this thing. Formula trucks aren't related to Ritza's upcoming Ayrton Senna game and won't be released as DLC content for the game's stock car, and sounds like they're going to release this as a standalone. So no word on pricing or release date or anything like that, but if you want to see that video in its entirety, you can check out the link in our description, and I think there was another video with that truck too, but we'll have it there in our description for you guys to check out.
Okay, that takes us to the halfway point of the show. We'll be taking a break, and when we return, we have a new segment of the show called Rear View Mirror with a good friend of the show, John Hill, as well as Sim Rig of the Week, and we have a leak to talk about. All that and more when we return. Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The R-Seat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The R-Seat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the R-Seat Evo V3. Check out the R-Seat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net. Welcome back to the show. Next up, we have a league to tell you guys about, and it's the Touring Pro Series. It's a collection of sim racing leagues that are currently running R-Factor, R-Factor 2, and the Sim Bin Race Series. This league offers a wide variety of racing across various time zones that cater to a large demographic of sim racers. They feature live broadcasts, video recaps, broadcast replays via YouTube, custom tracks, and much more. To check them out, head on over to www.touringproseries.com.
Next up, the Intel GT Series is back, and actually the finals are upon us, coming up here in a couple weeks. The field is set, and the race will feature some of the very best sim racers from around the world. They're going to do battle on Saturday, March 24th at 19 GMT. Competition is going to feature iRacing's HPD LMP2 car in a 30-minute race around Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. How come I always have to say that track name? I always get stuck saying Spa. Anyway, it's going to be a great race on the 24th. Lots of great drivers participating from all over the world. Top driver, as a matter of fact, from Japan, Yuho Abe. Some other drivers that you may have heard of: Ben Cornett, Alexia Loma, Hugo Louis, reigning DWC World Champion, Luke McLean, Jesse Niemanen, George Sandman, PJ Sturgis, and more. Race is going to be live on PSR TV, so if you're interested in checking that out, make sure to tune in on March 24th, or you can check it out at iracing.com/live.
All right, well, next up is Sim Rig of the Week, which is sponsored by Tamiya, and they are the makers of the finest model cars and RCs in the world. Go to TamiyaUSA.com. And today's Sim Rig comes to us from Lopsided of USA. She started out racing about 4 years ago on a place seat with a PS3. Yeah.
That's a pretty cool rig, huh?
She's
got a pretty sweet rig.
And now she's upgraded to PC racing and wanted a better rig, so she's moved forward to a R-Seat Evo V3 that her husband helped tailor to her needs. He welded up a monitor stand and built a pedal base for reinforcement. It is also built for the future with the ability to add extra monitors. She has a cell phone mounted running a display and a button box attached with a RAM mount. To add to the button box, she made her own custom labels and then finished off the rig with a T500 wheel and a TH8RS
That's
shifter.
a tongue twister there.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Now, she looks a little spoiled to me. I think her husband's spoiling her with all. I'm not saying that her husband bought all this, but her husband's definitely hooking her up with the thing. And I'm just giving her a little...
Giving her a hard time.
Yeah, because she gave me a hard time about my rig, said I was spoiled on our Facebook page. So just getting you back there, Lopsided. Had to show your rig, though, because it's really cool.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing it with us, and we'll be sending you out your bumper sticker very soon.
That's right. Give us your address, and we'll send you one of our stickers on that. I want to see it on that rig. So next up, good friend of the show, John Hill. He's been coming and hanging out with us quite a bit. As a matter of fact, went with Sean to Dallas. Took our place, really. And John's been coming up with some ideas for the show, and this one stuck. So here's a segment that John's going to be doing on the show called Rear View Mirror, and it's basically his take on sim racing from his standpoint, or looking in his rear view mirror.
All right, let's take a look.
Hi, welcome to the first edition of Rear View Mirror. I'm John Hill, and I will be discussing things here mostly about sim racing, but will also include my observations on how other things in life sometimes intrude upon or enhance the sim racing experience. First, why call it Rear View Mirror? I think because I'm one of those guys that really needs and uses the virtual mirrors found in iRacing and other sim race games. Now, I race looking backwards almost as much as I do looking forwards. This helps me in many ways. First, when I get to a race, I want to identify the fast crazies, those guys that just have to get past me and everybody else before the first couple of corners. And sure enough, it isn't long before I see those guys by the side of the road with their cars bent and smoking. Now, I will never attempt to block the guys behind me, but I have been known to position my car before the turn to deny the guy behind me the quicker line. Now, I'm only going to do that to a guy I trust. If I don't know the guy, then most likely I will probably let him by. Now, is that racing? Well, maybe not. But after I let the guy by, I will try like hell to pass him again. And if I can't catch him, well then the odds are I would not have been able to keep him behind me in the first place, and I would have run the risk of having us both crash out of the race. And more than anything, I hate sitting in the pits with a damaged car. I would rather lose a position. Now on the other hand, with a little more experience and a better knowledge of all the guys I'm racing with, I might end up eventually racing hard for every position. If I'm being lapped by the leaders in a race, I first want to look to see if they are racing closely with each other. If they're duking it out, I want to make extra sure that I don't hold the guys up for even half a second. So I'll check the mirrors, pull out of the racing line, but of course I'm going to do this early enough so as to not confuse the guys. And lastly, I'll check my mirrors if I'm leaving my opponents in the dust, and I just want to savor the moment. Now, Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Well, what I want to do here is take the analogy of a rear view mirror and apply it to modern life and everything that it entails. So until next time, I hope to see you in my rear view mirror.
All right, well, great to have someone new on the show talking about sim racing from their perspective.
Yeah, and John did a great job, and looking forward to having him back for future segments of his rear view mirror.
Yep, we'll be looking forward to that in the near future. We've come to the end of the show, and we'd like to give a shout out to Peter from Poland, who will be flying in our logos at the Czech Richard Burns rally site. And he's running a Lada Kalina R2 in the A6 class. We wish him the best of luck, and we'd like to thank him for flying in our colors. If you too are interested in flying in our colors, send us an email and we'll set everything up.
Or if you're already using our logos, send us some images and we'll show them here on the show.
Yeah. All right, I guess that wraps it up for this week Inside Sim Racing March 20th edition. Please visit our Facebook page and like us, and make sure you check out our website and all of our features we have to offer, including our new tech center.
That's right.
And
as a matter of fact, you can like us right from
our website.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can find out everything you need to find out there on the website, and we have different sections for everything sim racing related. So visit us at insidesimracing.tv. That's going to wrap it up. I'm Jessica Lopez.
Darren Ganji.
Checker flag is out, and so are we. Burns Rally at the Czech
Republic.
Check. They're going to do battle on Saturday, March 24th. Who's picking the peppered pickles?
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Pickles from Poland. He did a great job overall. I'm looking forward to seeing his next one.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
The